Quality contacts provide important opportunities for caseworkers to reaffirm parent and agency accountability for child safety, permanency, and well-being. For this interaction, we will return to the quality contacts competency of engagement. Notice how the caseworker uses engagement, including empathy, genuineness, and respect, and interpersonal helping skills, listening, guiding, and focusing, to conduct a purposeful visit with the biological mother.
How are things going?
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty stressed out right now.
I'd like to talk about what's stressing you out, but first I'd like to hear about what's been going well since the last time we talked.
Well, I'm still working at the restaurant, but they're not being very flexible with my schedule, which is really frustrating me. But they did give me Sundays off so I can go to church.
That's great that you're finding time for that. You've mentioned that church is an important part of your life. What about going to church is important to you?
Being locked up in the hospital for 4 days was the worst thing I've ever experienced. Going to church helps me get through this entire crappy situation. People are supportive, they allow me to vent. They're constantly telling me, stay on the straight and narrow and I'll get my kids back.
How are you doing with our plan?
Well, I'm taking my medication to help with my mood, although I don't really think it helps. I'm showing up for all my shifts, so I have some extra money for the kids when they get home. And I've gone to see Tony in jail a couple of times.
Tell me more about that.
I just want to make sure he's not stirring up crap and getting into trouble. I just want him to get out, get a job, and come home.
Is that what you want, for Tony to return home?
Absolutely. He's the love of my life.
It must be hard to be separated from him right now. I know that you all have been together for a really long time. What will it be like when he comes home? What do you suppose will be different?
It's going to be great. I'll have my best friend back and he can help with the bills.
What do you think Ryan and Taylor would say about their father coming back home?
Well, I think they know it's what needs to happen.
What feelings do you think they would have about his return?
Well, you'll have to ask them, but he's their dad.
Do you have any other concerns for your safety or anyone else's safety if he returns home?
No, I can take care of myself.
Help me understand what you mean by that.
Well, I've made it this long. And I know that being locked up, well, it's given Tony some time to think and change.
Has Tony ever been in jail before?
Yeah, a few times.
What's different this time?
You know what, Kara? I just know my man. And after having the kids taken away, well, I'm never gonna allow that crap to happen again.
I see that you're tearing up a bit. This is hard. What's bringing up those tears?
I just want my babies back.
I know you do. We've talked about what needs to happen so they can come home. That's why we developed that plan together.
They should have been returned right after I got out of the hospital. And I've been home for months now and I still don't have them back. I've done everything you've asked me to do. I take my medication, I go to church, I even go to AA meetings, and I've stopped drinking and everything.
That's really great, Melanie. It really is. You're working really hard and you're making a lot of progress. Are there other things we talked about when we came up with our plan for getting your kids back?
Well, the so-called safety of my home. There is nothing wrong with my home. My home is safe. I take pride in my home.
Your home is very beautiful. And I was going to make a comment about how much I love your decorations. Did your kids do all that artwork?
Yeah. They're really talented.
They are talented. And I can tell, Melanie, by your reaction, how much you miss your children. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I just want my kids to come home. And I don't understand why you people won't allow that to happen just because Bobby's here.
What do you understand about why your kids can't come home because Bobby lives here?
Well, y'all say he's a registered sex offender, but that doesn't mean he'd do anything to hurt my kids. Just because he'd done something bad in the past doesn't mean he'd do it again. Especially to his own family. Do you people think that I can't protect my kids? My kids have been in the same house with Bobby for years and nothing has ever happened. Now you guys come into our lives and all of a sudden think it's a problem when it's not. You people have no right to tell me who can stay and who can't.
I know. I know this is frustrating and it doesn't make sense to you. I know that Bobby is your family and that you want to help him out.
Yeah, he's my stepbrother. I would do anything for my family.
It is wonderful that family is so important to you.
Yeah, and now you people are breaking it up, tearing us apart, putting your nose in where it doesn't belong.
Melanie, I'm going to ask you to think back to our prior conversations regarding Bobby being in the home. Not only could it present a safety concern for the children, but it is also against Bobby's probation to live with people under the age of 18. With this being said, I understand your frustration, and I hope you can see that the division wants to keep your family together and return your children home to you. Let's talk about how you can help your brother, and at the same time, have him live somewhere else so it's possible for your kids to come home.